Okay, this is not a fail or pass quiz, it's just a quick question. Not the students, can any of the parents tell me how many credits do they need to graduate from high school? Ms. Chase? 26, okay. Any other idea other than 26? Okay, so the minimum is 26, that's right. So I just wanted to take your attention to what we should know and why this meeting is very important to your student and yourself, because they will be going into high school, and high school is different than middle school, obviously, and they will need to know, and you will need to know some of the basics of high school program. And maybe Harmony High School is a little different than the public high schools. So there are several differences. Most of the things are same, but there is of course a few changes or a few differences. Okay. This is my way of doing things. I'm going to introduce myself at the end. So if you don't know me, don't think that I forgot. I will tell you who I am. Okay. All right. My agenda, it's 5 main items, but I anticipate about an hour or so. So if you have anything very urgent after 6 or 6:15, you can leave if you need to leave early. But it's important that you stay all time and you ask questions and you get your answers on those questions. And please don't forget to sign in. If you did not sign, you can do it after I am done. Okay, so let's start with the graduation plans. In Texas, in public schools of Texas, there are 3 different types of graduation plans. And these are minimum graduation plan or minimum high school plan, and recommended high school plan, and distinguished achievement program. But Harmony does not offer minimum unless it's required for the student. So if your student has some special needs, and if that was indicated in his or her art meeting, then we do offer minimum high school plan. Otherwise, all students need to go with recommended high school plan or distinguished achievement program. And our suggestion is to start with distinguished plan, which is the higher level achievement program or graduation plan. And if your child does not fit into that category, then they can change any time. So we're going to talk about this in detail. So in Harmony, the graduation requirements are similar, but not exactly same with the public schools. The differences or the similarities are they need 26 credits. They have to complete 26 credits in high school in 4 years. And this may happen in 5 years, or this may happen in 6 years, which we don't want, and we don't have that problem so far. Hopefully there will not be any. But 26 credits are required to graduate from both achievement plans or graduation plans in high school. And second requirement is getting accepted to a 4-year university or college. So they have to get accepted to a 4-year university in order to graduate from high school, from Harmony High School. They don't have to go, but they need to get an acceptance letter from a 4-year institution. Okay. What if not? Hopefully this will not happen. And that's why we have a counseling department working on this. That's why we have an individual graduation plans for every single high school student. And your child will have one before they graduate from middle school, before they move into high school. So our goal is to make sure that they graduate on time and they get accepted to a 4-year institution on time. And the third one is starting from last year, which also applies to your students because they will be going into 9th grade next year. Starting from last year and thereafter, they must meet the New Star EOC criteria. And the criteria says they have to pass 15 EOC tests in high school. Instead of passing the tax test, which is like an overall grade level test, they changed the system, and now we have EOC tests, which covers 15 different courses. And I'm going to talk about them in detail in a minute. And the fourth criteria is 100 hours of volunteer service. And volunteer service means this can be done at local charities like or hospitals or food banks or cloth donation places. There is a bunch of places that you can we can refer you, and your students can go and do their volunteer service hours. And this can be done in even 2 years, which I have some students that they finished in 2 years. However, some students, they will be graduating in 2 months, but they are still struggling with that, and we have to find places for them. So it's not good to wait until the last minute. Yes, ma'am.
Some of them, if they wanted to volunteer for the MS-150, it's the first weekend in May.
Mm-hmm.
I can get a contact at
Okay.
the MS Society. And
Okay. Could you email that to me?
Yeah.
I can pass on. Uh-huh. Okay.
They need as many volunteers as
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to pass this into them, and they will be able to sign up for that. So those 4 main criteria, or those 4 main requirements, are the ones that your child needs to complete before they graduate, or in order for them to graduate from high school. Okay, let's go into details. And as I said, there are 2 types of graduation plans: recommended high school plan and distinguished achievement program. And the differences between those 2 are, they both require 26 credits, that's for sure. However, distinguished achievement program also requires 4 points from the advanced majors. So you have to finish 26 credits, plus you have to have 4 points from the advanced majors, and I'm going to talk about what advanced major means. So they have to complete those 4 as well. And the advanced majors are, they can be combined or combination of those 3. They can be it can be an original research project, which is most commonly or like mostly known, it's a science fair. So if your child does a science fair project in high school, I know it's not mandatory right now for high school students, but it is recommended that they do a science fair project in high school. And if they qualify for regional, then we can count that as an advanced major point. And they can only get 2 points from science fair projects. So if your child does 4 years of science fair, we can only count 2 of them for their advanced majors. And the second one is test data. This can be an AP exam data, which is 3 or above on AP exam. And I'm going to talk about AP as well in a few minutes. It can also be a PSAT score that qualifies for the recognition as a commended scholar or higher for the National Merit Scholarship. And this changes every year. Last year, the cutoff score was 211 out of 240. And we had 2 students made it to this finalist list. And I think 2 of them got scholarship from Lockheed Martin. So this changes every year, so I can't tell you what it's going to be this year. They have not released the cutoff scores for this year, so we cannot know what it is going to be for your student. And it can only be counted if they are a junior student. So if they are a junior and if they take PSAT, and if they get a score above the cutoff, which is usually 210 to 205, then we can count that as an advanced major point. And the last one is college courses, either AP courses or dual credit courses. But let's be very careful on that. AP courses means when they take the course, we cannot count that as an advanced major. They have to take the test at the end of the course and get a 3 or above on the test. But for dual credit, that's totally different. Dual credit means they take the class and they get an advanced major credit or advanced major point. They don't have to take a test at the end of dual credit. There may be final exam or midterm exam, which is like always in class, but it's not like AP. We don't offer an overall nationwide test for dual credit classes. Okay. And this is a case study for distinguished plans. If you look at the table, those are like different cases for different students. So number one, the student can get 1 credit from, where is my color panel? Okay, anyways. A student can get 1 point from the science fair, 2 points for the AP test, which is 3 or above on an AP test, and 1 credit from dual credit. But if the student, let's say, gets 3 points on science fair project, like 3 years of science fair project, this only counts for 2. We can't count the third one, and they have to complete 2 more. But for AP, as you see here, for this case, if a student takes 4 AP courses and gets a 3 or above on the test, then they can count all those 4 and they don't need to worry about the others. Okay? And on the other hand, when I say when they take AP course and the test, they don't have to take the AP course in order to take the AP test, which is an off-record information because we don't want this happen. What happens is if a student does not take the course but tries to take the test, unfortunately, they usually fail. Because AP course means it's a lot of work, it's a lot of homework, it's a lot of assignments, and it's a year-long course. And there is a few, really a few students that they can do that on their own and they can get a good score on AP tests. So that's why I said off the record, let's not do that. But if you think your child can do that, we can talk about it and we can find ways to accommodate that need. Okay, graduation plans, those are the coursework or course requirements for both graduation plans. RHP means Recommended High School Plan. DHP means Distinguished Achievement Program. It should be DAP, but I don't know why I put DHP. So for both graduation plans, Math, English, Science, Social Studies, and Econ, Physical Education, Fine Arts, Speech, the requirements are exactly same. The difference is for the language other than English, Recommended High School Plan requires only 2 credits, whereas Distinguished Achievement Plan requires 3 credits. And the other difference is elective courses. Recommended High School Plan requires 5.5 elective. Distinguished Plan requires 4.5 elective, which is like an alternative of language. Okay. And the most important question here is, this is the question that I get from most of the parents, most of the students, especially for juniors. Why am I taking a 3rd credit language if I don't want to go with Distinguished Plan? Let me tell you why. There are several reasons. Number one, as I said before, you can change your mind anytime in high school. So if you start with Recommended High School Plan, but if you want to continue with Distinguished Plan at some point, and if you are a junior, you're not taking the 3rd language credit, but you need it, right? So that means you're going to have to take a language credit when you are a senior or maybe even after you were supposed to graduate. So for this not to happen, we recommend them to take the 3rd credit anyways, 3rd language credit anyways. And if they decide to continue with Recommended High School Plan, this will count as an elective, which doesn't hurt anything. It's okay, it's just an elective course. But if they end up with Distinguished Achievement Program, which is perfect, then they will not need to worry about their 3rd language credit when they are a senior student. Because becoming a senior is kind of stressful, especially the first semester. You have to do your applications. There's a lot of things going on. The less classes you have, the better it is. So you shouldn't, I wouldn't recommend any senior to have a language class on their transcript, on their coursework, which happens sometimes, and I have some students this year that they have to take a Spanish or Turkish credit in their senior year. Okay. And number 2 reason is, as you know, which we are growing, but our schedule is not that flexible to offer that many electives for the students that they cannot or they don't want to take language credits in their 11th grade. So that's another reason. However, this can be solved, this can be fixed. So if you and your child agrees on not taking the third language credit, we can find ways to accommodate that. And starting from next year, this will be too easy for us because we have more students, we have a more flexible schedule, so it will not be a problem for us. Okay? But my recommendation is to take the third credit anyways because you may end up with Distinguished Achievement Plan. And at Harmony, there are 4 local credit courses that every student has to take. And those are being offered every year, 1 year each. So that's why you need to complete 30 credits in high school. But for some students, like if they come to our school when they are a sophomore or junior, we may make an exemption on local credit courses. But as soon as they start our school, they have to start their local credit classes and they have to finish as many as they can in that time frame. Okay, local credits. What local credit means, actually, the idea behind local credit courses are we are trying to help our students to get better scores on standardized college essays, college tests, like SAT or ACT. In the past, until this year, we used to offer SAT prep for every single grade level, starting from 9th grade. And we looked at the data and we ended up with not doing this anymore because we noticed it's not helping them, or it's helping but it could be better. So we changed our system, and starting from this year, actually, this current year that we are on, we offer math enrichment for 9th grade students. It's either Algebra 1 or Geometry, depends on what they take. So if they are in Algebra 1, they take Algebra 1 enrichment. So basically they take 10 hours of math, no matter what. And 10th grade, they take Writing 2. Writing 2 is a course that is designed to help them for their writing, and that helps them to get a better score on SAT. And this course came to us, or we decided to offer this course because of our low writing scores on SAT. So it's not like random course. We looked at our data and we noticed that we should offer a course that will help them on their writing scores. And the 11th grade, basically they need to get ready for SAT and ACT. So we offer SAT prep in that year, English or math. This year we had English first semester, and next semester we have English and math. Both are being offered. And when they become a senior, we offer Writing for Academia, and this course is for them to make their applications to colleges. And they write their essays, or they work on their application, whatever they need to do. They kind of complete those in class. So it's like a class setting, but it's not like 25 kids somebody teaches. It's more individual. I myself go into the classroom and give them some instructions on what to do and how to do, and they do it in class. Okay. When and how to decide your graduation type, and this happens in 8th grade. That's why you are here today. That's why we wanted to have this meeting. And we are planning to have a program, I don't know when and how it's going to be, for the students, like specifically for 8th grade students, for them to get ready for high school. It's like a fish camp or boot camp for them to know what high school means or what they need to know. So starting from spring semester of 8th grade, we do their graduation plans. And my plan was to invite all of you one by one and do the graduation plans. But I have 8th grade, 11th grade, seniors, which makes like 200 something people. And I noticed it's not going to work. It's not going to finish on time. And I don't want to spend my summer on that. I have some other duties on summer. So what we're going to do is, this meeting was kind of like replacing the one-on-one meetings. So I'm going to pass out the graduation plan forms today, and I will ask you guys to fill out. And if you don't understand anything on that, you can contact me and I can help you via email, or we can meet one-on-one and we can do the graduation plan. And the good thing about it is it's not binding, it's just a draft plan, because when I was in 8th grade, I did not know what class I'm going to take in 10th grade, 11th grade, or 12th grade, which makes sense. But this is just a draft plan, and by the state we have to do that, which is nice, because it's kind of a giving your child a guideline, a roadmap that they're going to be going on that pathway. But of course, anytime they can change their mind. So when we do the graduation plans this year, next year if they decide to take some other classes, we will change it and we will sign off on that and we will go with this plan. Until the last year of high school, they can change their graduation plans. So we passed out the course selection forms. I don't know if you all got it. If you did not, blame on your child. It's okay, I can make more copies and pass it out today as well if you are missing one. Course selection form is for you and your child to decide what class he or she will be taking next year. But the graduation plan is a 4-year plan, so you will put all the courses that he or she will be taking in 4 years. Or it's just a draft plan, what your idea on that. So it doesn't have to be an exact plan, or it doesn't have to be an exact course work for 4 years. So let me pass the graduation plan forms out. Can you pass this out for me? You look young. Okay. And if you have detailed questions about graduation plan form, I'm going to go over it when I'm done with my presentation. So I'm going to tell you what to put where. But it's self-explanatory, and I'm going to put on the slideshow I passed out, there is also a course sequence, so you can look at it and you can fill this form out according to those courses. Okay, so here is the course sequence chart that I was talking about. I know you can't see here. I don't know if you can see it on your paper. If you cannot see it well, I can make a big copy of this page only and I can give it to you, because this is important for you when you are filling out your graduation plan. And this one has 8th grade, 9th grade, let me do this, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And this is a common course sequence at Harmony schools. So it's not must, but our course sequence is this way. So we offer those courses in these years, and this helps us to make sure that your child will graduate on time, and we will know when they took what class. So it's like a coursework, it's like a chart for them to look at and see which course to take when. And where it says elective, it's like, as it says elective, they can select one of those courses, but they cannot take the same course more than 1 year.
Is that in the packet? I'm sorry.
It's in the packet, yeah. It's in the packet. I know it's too small. I'm going to make a big copy of it and pass it out at the end, hopefully. Okay. And the next thing is, as I mentioned, one of the requirements is passing the standardized state tests in order to graduate from high school. And starting from last year, State of Texas changed the system. I don't know if they're going to change it again, which we have a rumor, hopefully not. But the system changed, and right now, every high school student starting from last year has to pass 15 end-of-course assessments. It's kind of scary. It's 15, like too many, but it's not like 15 at once. It's 4 in a year or 5 in a year. So they complete it after when they go to their senior year, usually, if they don't fail any of them. And those courses are English. There are 6 of them in English. English 1 writing, English 2, English 2 writing, English 3 and English 3 writing. And then Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Biology, Chemistry, Physics, World Geography, World History, and US History. So there are 15 assessments that they have to take and pass. And our 9th graders took those courses last year and they took the exams. And our 10th graders are taking it this year. They just took the English exam this week. So they will be taking all others in May, first 2 weeks of May. The English 1, English 3 and Algebra 2 are in red. There is a reason. There is not, the writing 2 is a mistake, so this shouldn't be red. The reason why they are red is English 3 and Algebra 2 are required courses that they have to take and they have to pass with an advanced score in order to graduate from Distinguished Plan. So this is another attachment to Distinguished Achievement Program. At the top of 26 credits and 4 advanced majors, they have to pass English 3 and Algebra 2 with an advanced score or commended score with the name in tax it was commended. So they have to get a commended score on English 3 and Algebra 2 in order to graduate from Distinguished Achievement Program. And I don't know if that's going to be applied because we don't have any student taking these yet. It started last year. So we will see next year. We will know more about it next year. Okay, there are 3 performance categories for the STAR EOC exams. And they have 2 or 3, or they have too many options to take the test. It's not like one time in a year. They take the course, they take the exam in May, and if they cannot pass the exam in May, they can take it one more time in July. If they still cannot make it, they can take it in December the following year. If they cannot make it still, they can take it again and again and again until they pass the exam. And passing the test or passing the course is different things. They cannot, they may pass the course, they may pass the class with 70 or above, but if they fail the EOC exam, they don't have to take the class again. So they pass the class, they move on to the next course. If they were taking, let's say, Algebra 1, let me go back here. If they were taking Algebra 1, but they passed the class, in class, they got a 70 or above on their report card, and they move on to geometry. But if they fail the EOC exam, they have to take Algebra 1 EOC and Geometry EOC in the following year. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Performance standards, and the performances will be measured, or they will be scored on a cumulative score base, cumulative score requirement. So let me try to explain this on a white screen. So let's say for Algebra 1, I will just make up the numbers. The numbers are on the papers that I gave you, but I'll make up some numbers and try to explain. So let's say for Algebra 1, the requirement is 100 to pass, let's say. And then same thing for Geometry, and same thing for Algebra 2. So 100, 100, 100, which makes it 300 cumulative. And if a student gets 90 on Algebra 1, and 110 on Geometry, and 100 on Algebra 2, which still makes it 300 cumulative, they will be able to go. So they will be able to graduate on time. Or they can get a better score on this one, but a lower score on this one, same score on this one, and they can still graduate on time. Does that make sense? But again, for Distinguished Achievement Plan, they have to pass Algebra 2 no matter what. So they cannot get 80 or below. Those numbers are made up, so they're not the actual numbers. You should look at the papers. I don't remember the numbers. But they cannot fail Algebra 2 if they want to graduate from Distinguished Achievement Program. Okay? So here is the performance standards chart. It tells you what is required for level 2 and what is required for cumulative, and it tells you the additional requirements if you can see this part. Okay, and I'm gonna put this slideshow on school website, So you can also go back there and see what it was if you cannot read it on the package that I gave you. Okay, EOC scores on grades. I put this on here, but I'm not going to talk about it because this is deferred. This was deferred last year by the commissioner, and we thought it's going to apply this year. It was deferred again, so we don't know if that's going to be applied next year. So if it is applied, we will probably have an EOC exam night or EOC parent meeting, and we will tell you all the details about 15% rule. That's what it is called. So if this applies next year, when we know for sure, we will update you on that. But this year, this doesn't apply. It's been deferred. Okay. Okay. Any questions so far? All right. AP program. As I mentioned, AP is it's a College Board Advanced Placement program, and we have 19 AP courses as of this year in our school that are being offered. And AP exam gives you a unique opportunity to get a college credit, to get a good coursework on your transcript, which will make sense to colleges when you apply. And when they look at your transcript and if they see AP classes and AP exams, then it's gonna give them a powerful message. It's gonna give them an idea of how you are, how rigorous courses, what rigorous courses you have taken. So they may get a credit for the qualifying AP exam at colleges. This depends on the college, so I can't promise you on any of the colleges or any of the classes. You should check with the college. For instance, for Vanderbilt, we went there a couple weeks ago when we were on spring break. They accept AP Calculus as a math class. So if you take AP Calculus and get a 3 or above, they count that for the first year of math. So you don't have to take the first year math in college, which will save you at least $500, maybe $1,000. Depends on the class, depends on the college. And the AP exams are $89 at most. It was $89. And with the new change this year, we made it $25 for high school students, which is way less than what it was before. So it's better to take the class and the course, the test. And why should I take the AP exam even if I am not looking to earn credit for or placement? And this is a very common question, which I got this question last night from a parent of a 9th grader. He's going to be going to 10th grade and he's thinking about taking AP World History or not. And the question was, should I take it because I want to major in computer science? AP World History is an AP World like history class, which doesn't make sense if you want to go into computer science field. However, it's going to make you stand out in the admission process because it's an AP class and it will show them how competitive you are. And it will give you an academic scholarship based on your score. When you apply for scholarships, no matter what class you have taken, they will look at your transcript. They will not look at what major you will be going into, so it will give you a benefit. And it will give you an experience of a college level test, and you will be a step ahead because you will be learning study habits. You will be getting some study habits. As I said, AP courses are fast-paced classes. There is a lot to cover in 1 year. So you get a lot of homework and you get a lot of assignments. Jeffrey, am I right? Am I lying on that? Okay. So it's gonna help you to get your study habits before you go to college. And this is a most common problem when the kids move into college. They usually cannot transition from a high school course to college level course because in college nobody will care if you fail or not. You have to chase the instructor down and you have to keep up with your assignments and other stuff. So AP, at least like let's say 70-80% experience of that college level course because you're going to have to keep up with what the material was. Sometimes you will get chapters that you have to read on your own and try to understand. So, on the other hand, this may also overwhelm you. So you should be very careful on that. You should know yourself, you should know your child, and you should think about if my child needs to take this AP or not. Or students, you should think about, should I take this class or not? So I'm not saying like you have to take the classes. If you don't take, you're going to fail. That's not what it is. Let me put this on. Okay. All right. Here are the AP courses at our school this year. We are not planning to expand this list next year, because for some of the classes we have a few students this year, and we took this risk, or I took this risk. Our principal was not here, so I said we're going to offer all those courses. He came and he said, oh my gosh, but that's what it is. So my idea or my opinion on this was, or our opinion as a team was on this, we are growing, so we are having more students every year. If we expand our program in the future, like maybe in a couple years, we will have a lot of students in those classes. So this year some classes have 3-4 students, but next year hopefully we will have 10-15 students in each class. And we're not hoping to have more than 20 kids in an AP class, which also doesn't work well because it's an AP class. Okay. All right. I don't know if there is any AP class that any of the students came and said, can we take this class so far? But if there is, and if there are more than 10-15 students, we can try to offer it, but so far this did not happen. There was AP Art History. They said there is maybe more than 20 students who wants to take it. And I gave out the course selection survey, and there were only 5. So that means they don't want it. Okay, dual credit courses. This is another program that we offer, and we are trying to expand our program on that. Dual credit means it's a course that will give you 2 different credits, high school credit as well as a college credit. That's why we call it dual credit, or it's called dual credit. So what happens is you take the class from a college. It's not a class from our school. It's from a college instructor, or it's an online class from a college, from an online college. And this year we have a partnership with TCC, and we have 2 classes are being offered. There is speech for juniors, and then we offered film appreciation. We have 22 students in that class. And TCC sends us an instructor. She comes and she teaches at our school. And it's a college level course, so when they go to college, they will be able to take their transcript and say, I took this class, and hopefully they will count that class in college. Depends on college, but most colleges, especially in state, all colleges will count these credits. And the benefit of dual credit is, again, exactly same thing with AP. You are getting a college class. You are taking a college class in high school. You will pay less than what you were to pay in college, because in college, courses are usually like 400, 500, 600, depends on the college. But in high school, it's only $165 as of this year. And this may be free starting from next spring. We just had a meeting with TCC a couple of weeks ago, and they said they are working on this budget, and they're trying to make it free for all high schools. So which means if we have enough students, they will send us the teacher. She will come teach. You will not pay. We will not pay. So any class that I have 15 students for each, I'll be able to offer that class on campus here, starting from 11th grade and 12th grade. And for dual credit, there is not an exam at the end like AP, which is also a good thing because you don't need to worry about, or it's not like a stressful course for you, because it's a class on campus. There is a teacher, you learn from them, and you take the class and you pass it, hopefully. And there are also online courses that we offer on campus. I have a couple students taking online courses, but I'm not very fan of online courses, because if I were to give an online course to a student, I want to make sure they can, or she can, or he can make that class. I want to make sure he or she can pass the class, because it's a self-paced class. I don't have power on that. Nobody has power on that. So there is a teacher behind the scene which we don't even know. So the student must be self-motivated, self-directed, and somebody that can take enough responsibility. And I kind of filter those students, and they can tell. If you ask some juniors and seniors, it usually takes some time for me to tell them yes or no for online classes. Okay, and I'm not very fan of that. And I'm hoping that the TCC will make it free, and we will have all on-campus classes. We will get rid of online classes. Okay. All right. So we're moving into college progress or college application progress. Any questions so far? Am I going too fast? 40 minutes. Okay.
You said the dual credit is just 11th and 12th grade only,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Dual credit is only 11th and 12th grade. AP classes are for all high school students, but there are several courses. Let me go back to that slide. As you see here, I put AP Human Geography 9th grade. This is the only course that 9th graders can take because of some prerequisites. So for instance, for AP Biology or AP Physics or AP Chemistry, there is a prerequisite. So they have to take biology and chemistry in order to take the class. So they can do that at least in junior year. So that's why AP starts from 9th grade, but not all the classes. And the dual credit is only for juniors and seniors. That's not our requirement, that's a state requirement. Okay.
And if your AP class so happens to get full, you'll have two?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
That's an executive decision. And he is here this year. He wasn't here last year. Okay, so when you are making your application to a college, which is like maybe 4 years from now, but I just wanted to mention about a few basic steps. And if you forget, of course, we will have another meeting when they become a senior. But I just wanted to say some of the things. So the main components to a college application are grades, your transcript, rigor of courses, test scores, extracurricular activities, recommendation letters, college essays, and demonstrated interest or visits to the colleges. So those 7 main components are extremely important when you apply to a college. And these 7 components must be done in high school before you graduate. Let's talk about some of them. So when you are a 9th grade student, we suggest that when they are a 9th grade students, we suggest that they start working on their PSAT or SAT preparation. And we offer PSAT to all high school students starting from 9th grade. If they are enrolled in geometry class or above, they take the PSAT test in 9th grade and above. So every year they take the PSAT. But the PSAT is for scholarships, and it only counts if they take it in junior year for scholarships. But the idea behind it that we offer it every year, we want to see how they progress. We want to see how they gradually perform. They gradually move their scores up. And this is a trend, like every year they grow up their scores because they take the courses that are relevant to PSAT. So if your child is in Algebra 1 this year, he or she will be taking PSAT next year. If they are in if they are in 8th grade math, they will be taking Ready Step, which is another test like PSAT, but it's not something like PSAT, and it doesn't give scholarships or anything. It's just a test that we see your child's progress. Okay, and we want them to get ready for their high school plans and high school classes. So, and we want them to start their volunteer hours in 9th grade, obviously. We want them to start keeping copies of their report cards, their honors, their awards. And if they have extracurricular achievements like science fair, science olympiad, math counts, whatever they do, we want them to keep those in a file, because these will count when they apply to college. These will be going into their file when they apply to college. And we do keep a file for every single student starting from 9th grade. So if your child brings me a copy of an award or extracurricular achievement, I will keep a copy of it in his or her file, and I'll give it back to them. So if you have something like that, starting from this summer, please bring it to me, and we'll put them on their file. And when they become a senior, we will have hopefully a big file full of achievements and extracurricular activities. In 10th grade, this is a long checklist or like a reminder list for you to review. So I'm going to let you read them. I'm not going to read all of it. There is also 11th grade, fall semester and spring semester. So I'm going to put these on the website as well. So if you want to go back there and see, you can go over and you can ask questions if you have any after you review the document. Okay. So what colleges look at, it's the same slide. I don't know why I put this here, but they look at your academic record. They look at your grades, your class rank. And let me tell you some about class rank. As you may or you may not know, we do not rank our students in high school. The reason we don't rank is we are a small school. When we rank our students, like our seniors right now, we have only 28 students. When we rank them, top 10 is like 2.3, which is 2 students. So it doesn't make sense to the colleges, and it doesn't help most of the students. That's why we don't rank unless the college asks for a rank. So if your child falls in top 10 or top 25, depends on what they ask for, we send these ranking to the colleges. So we tell them, okay, this student is top 10 in our school. But if they don't ask us, or if it's not going to help your child, we don't even mention about it. And that's legal. That's something that high schools can do. So unless it's required, we don't rank our high school students. But if we have, in the future, if we have 1,000 seniors, then we will definitely rank them. Okay. And let me tell you this, we don't want to have too many students in our high school. This is another thing. That's why we don't enroll too many new students in our high school. Because the bigger it is, the harder it is to manage and the harder it is to help them. So this year we had only 28 seniors, and I was the only one helping them on their college applications. It was too easy for me because it's only 28 of them. And I went to North Crowley. They have 620 seniors, and some of the students or the counselors don't know each other, which doesn't make sense because that's the most important relationship in high school. And the private schools do that as well. I went to Trinity Valley, and they only have 73 students in their senior class, and they have 2 counselors for 73 students. So we're trying to help them as much as we can. That's why we don't want to have too many students in high school. Okay, SAT. Let me talk about SAT very quick. I have 10 more minutes. So SAT is a test that your child needs to take in senior year, or sometimes mostly junior year, at the end of junior year. And it's a test for them to take for college applications. And there is also ACT, which is kind of a same test, but it's a different test. It's being offered by a different company, but it gives you the same thing, like the colleges will not distinguish ACT or SAT. So whichever you take, the colleges will accept both. And I haven't seen any college that says only SAT or ACT. And those tests are, ACT has English, Math, Reading, Science sections, whereas SAT has only English, writing, reading, and math. So SAT does not have a science section. And SAT is a critical thinking and analysis test. So it's not like knowledge based. It's more like you have to analyze the knowledge, your high school course knowledge. But ACT is a knowledge based test. So you have to know some basics of the course, and it's kind of more rigorous. ACT is more rigorous. But some students like ACT because they can do better on knowledge, whereas some students can do better on critical thinking. So it's up to your student. And we do offer SAT and ACT practices on campus. Starting from 9th grade, we give them SAT practices, ACT practices to see where they are and which one is good for them. And this semester, I started working with juniors, and I tell some of them, you take SAT, I tell some of them, you take ACT, because I know they will do better on either one of those. Some of them, they take both and see which one is better for them. And sometimes, like we have one student took SAT and got 2100, and he took ACT and he got 35 out of 36, which was better. So we went with ACT. It's another trick. I know it costs, you have to pay for the test, but that's for your child's education. So if they take both, whichever works well, we will go with this test. Okay. Okay, so there is more information like a comparison chart between SAT and ACT. You can review this on your own. Let's also talk about financial aid. You may say, okay, it's good to know that we want to go to college, we need to go to college. But college is expensive. Yes, that's right. College is very expensive. And there is ways to get scholarships, and there is ways to get this expensive step lower down a little bit and maybe pay less than what you were to pay if you don't get any scholarship. And there are 4 types of financial aid, and those are federal, state, institutional, and private scholarships. And federal financial aid or scholarships are, this is called FAFSA. Let me write this down here. And you get familiarize yourself. Because I have some seniors and parents, they don't know what FAFSA is. FAFSA is the financial aid, which is like a federal financial aid for college students. And you apply FAFSA in your senior year. And depends on your income, your parent income, you may be eligible for grants, for loans, or federal money. It's free money, depends on your income. You may get up to $5,500, I believe, per year. And it depends on the college. Some colleges will give some extra money at the top of this $5,500. And the state money, this is like a state-based or college-based scholarship. Some colleges or the state colleges will offer scholarships to the students. And there is institutional scholarships like Lockheed Martin or Bell Helicopter. They do give some scholarships to the students, sometimes to their employer's child, or employee's child, or sometimes they give scholarship to those high achiever students. And the private scholarships, there is a bunch of them, maybe millions of them. They give money to the students, and sometimes they require you to serve for them after the college. Sometimes they require you to pay back. There is a lot of them, and this is a long discussion, and we'll talk about it when we come to that point. Okay. So this is just continuation, or this is kind of another different way of categorizing these scholarships. There is grants that you don't pay back. There is loans that you pay back and it costs a lot. We don't really want you to think about getting loans in college. We have some students, some alumni that they came back and they said it's their first year and they are on loans like $19,000, $20,000. So let's not, try not to do that. But if you think that it's worth, your child needs to go to college no matter what, then that's your choice as a parent. And there is employment where you can study, you can work when you are studying your college. And some colleges will have some work options. You can work at their cafeteria or their student services, or you can work outside at any institution and get paid. And some of them will pay this money to the college as your tuition, or they will pay it to you, and you will pay your expenses. And there is scholarships, as I talked, private scholarships. Some of them are not paid back, some of them are, and we'll talk about this in detail when we come to that point. And this is a chart for the scholarships, like how they are distributed in United States. So if you are interested, then you can look at these numbers. And this is data from last year. I don't know this year's data. Okay, and there are 3 websites that we usually use. I mean, all of our seniors use these websites to search for scholarships, and those are on the packet. You can even start searching from today on. Okay. And this is me. Hi. Okay, I am a computer teacher as well as a college counselor, a volunteer college counselor. And this is my email address, and it's the best way to contact me, right, Miss Coleman?
Yes.
Okay. So if you call my room, I may not be there, but if you email me, my cell phone is always with me. Okay. So please let me know if you have any questions about your child's high school plan, high school information. So I am here to help you, hopefully.